Hey, what up, y'all? Check it out. We got us a RC10 here. Come on. If you grew up in the 80s and the 90s and you were into RC cars, I mean, you knew about this car. And if you had a buddy that was into RC cars, or you were into RC cars, chances are you freaking had one of these cars. Knew somebody that had this car. Anyway, here it is. It's a freaking gold pan. It's the RC10 Team Associated. So basically, I had one of these when I was pre-teen, teenage years, I guess. It came in a kit, in a box. My freaking brother-in-law that I had at the time, I'm the youngest. Anyway, my brother-in-law, he built the car for me. It was way over my skill set at the time. And yeah, it took him some time. I mean, he had obligations with work and my sister and other things. They had a ranch that, you know, he would help out with. And so anyway, long story short, I had one, and a few years ago, 20 years ago I guess it was, we were moving and I was just over it, and I threw mine away, and I regretted it ever since. And so some few months back, I think it was back over the summer, it was on eBay, and yeah, I mean, I won the bid on one, and it was tested. I'm not sure what tested meant. That kind of told me that, hey, it ran, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't run. So anyway, fast forward to 3-4 weeks ago, I was at a point and I was just like, you know what? I'm either gonna get rid of this car, or I'm gonna get it fixed. I decided to get it fixed. And yeah, so basically what they had to do is they had to put in this guy and this guy. I had to get a new receiver, and yeah, it runs. And basically what I want to do today is I just want to get it cleaned up. I mean, this thing's got decades worth of, you know, dirt, dust, and just, you know, anyway, this was somebody's car and they used it and enjoyed it. So anyway, so I'm gonna just kind of clean it up, and when we're all said and done, we'll get us a battery pack out and we'll take her for a little ride. So I got a vent brush. It might be a little bit too big for the job, but it's okay. I got some really diluted down EnviroClean. Then I've got some AMSOIL silicone spray, because these bearings are going to need to be relubricated. I probably shouldn't use this, but that's all I have at the moment. So until I can make it to the RC car shop or find some dry graphite, I may have some dry graphite somewhere. Enough the jaw jacking, man. Let's just get after it now. Come on. Man, that's not really doing a whole lot, is it? Send it. We'll try to be nice to the electronics. Try to. Doesn't guarantee anything. Yeah, so my car that I had when I was a kid, I had these decals that came with the car that I installed right here. It said Associated Electronics right here with their decal. It looked really nice. It all set up right there on both sides. Yeah, I don't really quite remember what my body looked like. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I mean, that car right there was the car to have for back in that time, man. It was, I mean, it was fast for its day. And the other day when I got it back from the hobby shop, I threw the battery in there and ran it up and down the street a few times, and I was like, that's it? Yeah, it was a little underwhelming, but anyway, sure did put a smile on my face, though. That's what's important, right? Yeah, so I think now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these wheels off. Yeah, so the other day, I bought myself a new air compressor on OfferUp, and dude says he doesn't have any electricity for 220, and I said, all right, that's cool, dude. So anyway, it's an older Speed Air compressor. I don't know if you've ever heard of Speed Air, but it's a pretty good brand. I thought to myself, I said, well, it's a freaking Speed Air. They've got parts. I mean, so anyway, I bought it, and the motor's bad. So anyway, I just found out the motor was no good just hour or so ago. So that's why we're doing this. Huh, that's interesting. We got two different wing nuts. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just keep working in this areas here up front, then I'll move to the back. Then we'll just let this stuff kind of marinate there for a bit longer. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do after I'm done with this little video and the car and stuff, my plan is throwing it back out on eBay and stuff. And you know, there's cars on there that are running and driving examples. I thought about putting it there and selling it. I mean, if somebody was to give me $850 for it, I'd sell it. You know, I don't have that much into it yet. I want to say I paid about, it was less than $300 for it. I got 2 batteries, I got a receiver, then I think this is the speed controller, I think. Yeah, so I think I got maybe $500-600 into this car. I mean, that's about what a decent car will cost you nowadays, you know, for a decent one. Yeah, they're gonna be 100 times faster and all that, but I mean, it ain't got the cool factor of the gold pan here. Yeah, so I think this thing is just gonna kind of sit on the shelf. I mean, there's still some parts out there available for these guys, but yeah, it's really expensive, and there's guys out there that have way deeper pockets than I'll ever have, and they can afford to buy the parts for them. And I mean, yeah, I'm just a working guy. That, and like when I was a kid, the failure points on these when I was a kid was this spur gear and this I forgot what this gear is called, but yeah, this was the failure point back when I was a kid. And I mean, you can find this stuff, but it's pretty pricey. I think what I'll do is we'll take her up and down the street a couple times, and I think that will be about the extent of it for this car. Kind of thought about taking it over to this indoor track that's here locally, and man, it'd be really disappointing if I freaking killed this car over there at that indoor track. I think we'll put the car right here for now, and we'll work on these wheels. Better, huh? That's not coming out of there. The side that matters is this, so. Yeah, and I think what I'll do is, before I pull the trigger on what I'm going to use to lubrication, anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll get on YouTube and I'll see what's recommended for this before I make any rash decisions, I guess. In case there's anybody watching this video in the future going, hey, you shouldn't have done that, oh my god. So anyway, when I was a kid, I had this car, and my brother, he had the Blackfoot. It was a monster truck, and my car initially would beat his truck every time, but his truck was a little bit slower, and mine would eat up the battery way faster, and he would always beat me at the end. This friend of ours that we had, they had an RC car track in their backyard, and we would go over there and we would take our truck, my car and his truck, over there, and we would go play around, and the that track, man, it wasn't very big at all. By the time that you would get through the track, your battery was pretty well depleted. Sometimes my truck or my car wouldn't even make the track because I didn't want to charge it long enough or whatever, you know. Anyway, so yeah, the battery technology has come a long way since then. Inside of there, you see that black. So I'm going to kind of rub that black stuff out because those bristles won't get in there. Then inside of there. Thus far, it's coming out pretty nice. What do you think? What do you guys think, huh? Yeah, so let me know what you think I should do with this car. Should I freaking just throw it on the shelf? Or should I enjoy it? I mean, there's a part of me that wants to enjoy this car. I mean, I could definitely like find some parts that have been 3D printed, and I'm sure there's some of those available out there, and throw modern things on this. I mean, this stuff right here there's still, you know, control arms available, you know, all that's still available. I mean, I think the failure points, like I said, was the transmission, like this stuff. Then when I was a kid, I crashed mine pretty good, and it ripped off one of these A-arms, and that's when I shelved mine. But anyway, I mean, yeah, there's a part of me that wants to enjoy the car. I mean, I don't know, I just don't like stuff laying around, and there's like a part of me that wants to have sitting on the shelf. But so you guys tell me what to do with the car. Okay, I think I'm gonna have all this pretty well broke free now. I forgot to grab the solvent X. Yeah, I thought I had a spray bottle of solvent X, but I guess not. So we gotta do it the hard way. Out of the gallon. Well, that's being really stubborn, boy. Okay, we'll set you there. So here's a dry one, and we're gonna try to mop up whatever loose stuff is in there. Okay, I think that's gonna be acceptable for in there. I'm gonna start flushing out all that loose or that stuff in there. You see that in there? Okay, I think this is wet enough for now. We'll put you out in the sun for a little bit. the body now. Got to be real careful right here because it is super flimsy there. Man, that made a big difference. Just doing that, just cleaning the body made a big old difference. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go by the hobby store because I know I don't have any of that oil, and I'm fairly certain that these bearings do not come apart. So I gotta pull these guys out and yeah, anyway, we'll get all that all situated and we'll check back. Well, we're back. I've got some parts here. So anyway, yeah, we're back after it. Let's see about getting this little job done so we can take her for a little rip here, huh? Uh-oh. Things aren't looking right already. Yeah, these aren't the right parts. Well, let's see about getting the right parts again. I mean, these bearings still turn. See that? And it still goes, but it's not, I mean, I'd rather have new bearings on there. I mean, that one rolls smoother than this one. Let's take her for a rip. Uh-oh, we made it mad. There's the culprit right there. We lost the axle. Let's try to track that down. Yeah, I remember the other day when I was messing with this about needing to tighten that up, and I forgot. So anyway, hopefully we didn't mess anything up or lose any other parts. I noticed there's a spring inside of this guy right here, so. These are the smallest wrenches I have. I'm not thinking we're gonna be able to do this. Yeah, too big. Yeah, I really need a wrench that small. Yeah, I need a wrench. That in there. This is the way it should be. And that's where we're at. So just a few more threads. So I need to get it by a wrench of some sort because this is going to be too big. The needle nose is starting to foul out up against the joint itself. I have some mini ones from an RC kit I'm going to grab real fast. Stand by. It's not as good as a wrench, but it got it. So we'll turn it on and run it up and down real quick, and I think that's going to be about it. Hopefully there's no other parts that came out of that. Well, it works. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love to you. Do man, hey. Do man. He's a big old do man, huh? Meow. He's a big old do man, huh? He's a big do man, huh? Meow.